You know what's crazy? Is I'll be up at work.
Yeah.
And I'll have an existential crisis up at work. You know, just like sitting there. There'll be nobody in the building, so I'll be a moment of free time, so to speak, and I'll just lose it.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh, I got a minute. Let me try to come up with some topic ideas.
Yeah.
Let me think about something that could be a good conversation starter.
Yeah.
And then I just sit there and think about how I need to be, like, focusing on work.
Sometimes when I have free time at work, I reminisce on how terrible of an employee I am. Yeah.
It's brutal. Anyway, I have no idea. I came up with some good ideas, like, in the moment. But I didn't... people came in, and I never got enough time to, like, record it or write it down. That was
Came back at me.
That was a cool trick. Is that a beer?
It's a root beer.
Beer?
IBC brand rooted beer made with cane sugar. Azúcar de... I don't know the word for cane.
I don't know if you need to even say it.
It is both naturally and artificially flavored, Ben, and it has been since 1919. Not a sponsor.
Are you recording? We didn't even get to, like, talk.
No, we're recording now.
I wanted to say hello.
We'll start. We haven't begun the episode. It's the time now that the episode begins. I'm gonna start whenever you sit down. Whenever you begin. What? You're wearing a Red Sox thing and you're acting like you're all fucking high and mighty about it. What's wrong with you?
It's not mine. That's Allie's crap-ons.
Oh.
But it fits me. Because I think I'm getting older. I don't know. I don't know how clothes work.
Dude.
Did you like these pants?
This fucking getting old shit's for the birds. I have stories about it. I do like your pants. Come show the audience. You're over there. What are you doing? Don't just put a leg in.
Woo! Alright, let's do a Rogan.
He's just vaping. The whole time he's been vaping. That's what he's trying to hide from you. He's over there vaping, and he doesn't want to put on the podcast because he's worried we're going to get demonetized.
Well, no.
Because we won't make the 10 cents.
I'm not worried about monetization because I think eventually the way we run this show, it's going to have to go Patreon exclusive, right?
Probably.
No, I'm not worried about the money so much as I'm worried about, like, being a negative influence.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah. This fucking show, we should be really careful about not being a negative influence.
If people see it, they'll own it.
This is the worst show ever made. If anyone watches this, if anything, it's a positive influence because they're going to see this show.
It's rude.
And they're going to be like, oh, fuck, I don't want to be like that. I guess I better shape up. This show is like a scared straight situation. People just watch us and they're just like, please don't make my life that way.
I don't want to end up like those guys.
Exactly.
You're like doing stuff with your life, so I'm not sure how you can even say that. This is like the least respectable project you're working on.
Yeah, by a lot.
Yeah.
I'm sitting on a couch drinking root beer. We're going to talk about Easter. Happy Easter. It's that today is that day, and this is the show that you're now watching.
I was going to try to get through the whole episode without even mentioning Easter, but I didn't think it would be possible.
Everyone keeps telling me all day, they're like, hey, he is risen, and I'm like, I wake up risen every day. I don't fucking brag about it. Welcome to the show, guys.
Nobody's talking to you on Easter. So what's up with the egg hunts?
It's a lot of people like to pretend or like to talk about how it's like stolen from pagans.
Yeah.
And all these things. I used to think the same thing.
Yeah, I did too until just now. So let's get it go. Let's explain it.
It's if I remember correctly,
it's capitalism, isn't it?
It has to do. It's Catholicism, actually.
It's to sell eggs.
It's just sons of bitches.
The egg farmers are like, dude, we got too many eggs. We need an egg holiday.
Doesn't Lent come right before Easter, and then
Yeah.
Easter ends Lent?
Maybe.
Isn't that right?
Fuck if I know.
Let me double check, because I want to make sure I get this story straight.
I don't remember. I know that during Lent, when I worked at Long John Silver's, a
Lent.
lot of people during Lent come to Long John Silver's to eat.
Yeah, so Lent
Because they swear off red meat.
from like March into April, and so like, or I guess I don't know, and so Lent this year ended
Or they fast
on
for
April
red meat.
14th, I guess, and now it's the 17th.
I'm not trying to be
is that right?
disrespectful.
And so you have to give up.
To the Catholics.
You give up the things.
I'm over here having my own conversation with the audience. I love this show.
And one of the things that was popular to give up was eggs, because they were
Really?
a luxury at a time.
That's what I'm saying. The way it's weird how with Lent you give up a thing you like.
Luxury of some kind.
you
yeah.
give
Well,
up.
I think
You have to give up one thing that you think is pretty neat.
It's such a stupid concept, but like
It's fine.
I guess it is the most benign of all of the traditions.
The ideas behind like fasting and stuff, like like some of the concepts behind it are kind of okay with me.
Sure.
Like the idea of like abstaining from something you normally do or need for just a little while,
just kind of draw awareness to
yeah,
yourself.
just to remember yourself, just to remind yourself how like what. Oh yeah, it's good. It is like if you fast all day.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I do a lot.
Yeah.
if you fast
Yeah.
all day and then you eat at the end of the day, it's like it
Hell
almost
yeah.
doesn't matter what you're eating.
Right, you're just excited
Right?
about it.
You're
Yeah,
like, yeah. So you're
Yeah.
grateful for any food.
Yeah.
Like it can be kind of a reward, like a risk versus reward training thing.
Sure.
Does that make sense?
No, it does. I get you.
Like
I get you.
You
It
can
keeps
you can
grateful.
teach yourself like how to be more patient and wait for something better to come or something.
Yeah. Makes you.
That's kind of a weird parallel I like to draw, but like that's like. Again, like whenever I do something like that, there's no religious context whatsoever, so I'm literally just trying it out to see how my body does it, you know? Or like what are the scientific things that people have said about this or that thing?
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of cool. I always thought it was interesting how there's certain religious practices where we'll find like different health benefits.
Right. And it turns out that's why they were doing it.
Like prayer has a lot of similar benefits to meditation.
I suppose.
It has similar benefits because you're doing a lot of the same practices when you pray because you're bringing up thoughts and then you're passing them off to God, right? You're letting them go. So it's the same thing. It's like the same concept. You interact with the thought, but you don't like hold on to it. That's prayer. So like,
it depends on what the prayer.
I'm telling you, spirituality is very fucking ridiculous and loose and wonky, and it's totally just an experience that you can have by yourself, and it's nothing.
Yeah.
It's just chemicals in your brain.
Just you doing
But
fun
you
things.
can do it.
Yeah.
But, like, making other people do it is fucked up and wrong.
It's like a drug.
I don't have to do it. I don't have to do your Jesus drug, sorry.
So with the fucking eggs.
Sorry, the eggs. Tell me about the eggs, my guy.
So,
For he is risen.
For he is risen. Jesus is the bread. Risen. But that's why it was unleavened bread in the Old Testament. And then Jesus risen.
Now explain what is unleavened. Does that mean it's not, there's no yeast, it doesn't rise?
It didn't rise.
That's what unleavened bread is?
Yeah, it didn't
So
live.
when people were like, they had they had unleavened bread, what they mean is they ate like really
shitty
bad,
bread.
like, hard fucking...
Yeah.
What's that shit, hardtack?
Yeah, I was gonna say they were cranking down the road, lost in the desert, eating hardtack for 40 years. It's a miserable existence.
With the weevils.
Fucking shit. But yeah, for Lent, people would give up eggs.
I don't know how humans made it.
Because they were luxurious or whatever. And but the cool thing is that eggs keep for a long time. If you buy eggs from the store, they've like been cleaned and shit.
Yeah, our eggs don't. That's actually, we should circle back to that and explain that because that's a
Yeah.
question. I have friends here and in the UK, and they ask all the time why we
Refrigerate
why
eggs.
we refrigerate eggs, and I up until very recently I couldn't tell them.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know,
Well, it's-
but now I do. So
I used to have a bunch of chickens. I
started
recently...
following a food science student or expert, I don't know, but
Yeah.
she makes TikToks and stuff, and she has some really interesting stuff about
Blonde
food
lady?
science. Yeah.
Yeah, me too. She's really cool.
Yeah,
she's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's just been debunking that guy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. I love her videos.
She's really cool. But Yeah, I used to have chickens for a long time. I just got recently, and like we would get fresh eggs every day, and you just leave them on the counter. You can put them in the fridge, but they keep longer in the fridge. You don't have to do it. The thing is, if you get them wet, then they'll go bad quickly because they're coated in a slime from the cloaca that's an antimicrobial. And so if you wash the eggs, then bacteria can penetrate the shell and get in there. And so like when you factory farm eggs, they are washed and they're sprayed with other stuff to make them look pretty, because normally eggs might have a little bit of poop on them, you know, they're because they come out of a butt. Because chickens only have one hole. And fun fact. Yeah, fun fact. Cloacas exist and they're horrifying. It's like one hole to rule them all. And so you have this antimicrobial layer on there. So normally when you have fresh eggs, you just wash them right before you use them. You just run them under warm water, and you feel like this goo come off of them. No matter, like, and it's crazy. And then they're clean, and then you can crack them open and use them. Excuse me, root beer.
Rooted beer.
The root beers. Anyway, so eggs keep for a long time, and so they were a thing that you could buy before or during Lent, and they would keep until after, unlike red meat, which wasn't going to last a month, you know what I mean? And so normal celebration at the end of Lent, you had a bunch of eggs because you had these things on, and this is the luxury item that you've been saving up and stockpiling. And so that's where that symbolism come from. And then rabbits have rabbits and mice, a bunch of rodents do this. It's called they're able to get pregnant while they're pregnant, basically. They're able to conceive a litter while they're already pregnant with another litter.
Super fuck 'em ups.
Super fuck 'em ups is what it is.
No, it's called, it is super something, though.
Yeah,
it's like super,
I cannot remember the name.
You keep telling the story about the eggs.
So anyway, rabbits can get pregnant.
Because I know exactly what you're talking about.
Rabbits can get pregnant while already pregnant, and this led early biologists, they were just naturalist people at the time, a long time ago, believed that this was a form of immaculate conception, that they were just like spontaneously generating rabbits. And so there's a lot of symbolism of the Virgin Mary surrounded by rabbits, because they're this symbol of virginity and purity, just cranking out babies. And so this is where you get the rabbit symbolism as well. And so the Easter Bunny bringing eggs is like this crazy bastardization of
super fetitation.
Fetation.
Probably
fetation.
It's FETA.
Like feta cheese.
It is. This is Wikipedia. Wikipedia. It's a different website. Is that right? Does that look right?
Yeah.
I'm not saying.
I spelled it with the OE. That's how I learned. Yeah. So yeah, super fetation. Man, I still can't. I'm looking at it and I can't fucking say it right. I've never been able to say this word properly, and now
it is also spelled superfotation.
Yeah, FOE would still be fee. It's like Phoenix.
Would it? Okay. So
Phoenix is PHOE.
Superfetation though makes that does make it easier to read though.
Yeah. So superfetation is a cool thing that rabbits can do in mice.
That's insane.
And
marsupials, some marsupials as well.
Some marsupials can also, in fact, a lot of mammals, not just marsupials. Marsupials are usually the animals.
I got a keychain fidget.
Quit bragging about the fucking toy store that you work at. But
these are cool. These are little and cool and convenient.
Marsupials and some other mammals as well can like fucking pause their pregnancies. If they're pregnant and it's not a good time, they can just fucking, they don't kill the baby, they just put it on pause, and development just stops and just kind of hangs out there, and the little fetus just hangs out exactly where it's at.
Hang on, wait. Explain that to me again.
They can pause pregnancy. So like if they get pregnant and there's unfavorable conditions, the fetus will just stop developing and just maintain stasis at this level of development until things get better, and then they can just turn development back on and continue on normal gestation and have babies whenever they want.
The hell?
Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah. We still don't fully understand how it works, but the genes for being able to do it are present in like pretty much all mammals.
Oh my god!
And so like eventually maybe we could turn that on in humans. Same thing with hibernation. Pretty much all mammals have the genes for hibernation.
Can you imagine like it'd be a really cool like a science fiction world to write, where people have like gene switches. They have like a device and they can just like turn it. They're like, oh fuck, I need to be able to like they're like running from fucking some, you know, obviously some exterior force is trying to kill them because that's how the story works.
Right.
Like surviving and shit, and they gotta like fuck, I can't be pregnant right now. Turn my unpregnant switch on.
They have like an NFC tag stuck to the wall. They just beep boop on it.
Well, like that goes back to like what we've talked about a bunch on this episode, like the like singularity and humans becoming like more machine and adding different parts to themselves. Like,
I'd be super into it.
That like gene editing is definitely a part of that. Like,
you know, fucking bears, when they hibernate, they can give birth and lactate and everything while hibernating. So you literally go to sleep and wake up several months later with toddlers.
And they're just like, what's up?
Yeah.
And they've just been drinking and fine.
A nightmare.
That is, whoa.
Yeah.
That is a nightmare. Would the bear even know, like, what the fuck is going on?
That's their life cycle. That's part of it. That's cool.
That's rough, though.
They're like, oh, shit.
That's part of my life cycle, but I know if I just woke up one day and there were kids, I'd be like,
yeah.
No.
It's fucking crazy, dude.
Gotta get them out of here. It's not my phenotype.
But yeah, we got genes for that all over the place. So like we could very easily, eventually, someday, be smart enough to activate that type of situation. That'd be fucking cool.
Can we lay eggs?
Our ancestors did. So
gross.
Fucking mammals evolved 220 million years ago.
Oh yeah, I do know about this. Eventually, at some point, they were
all monotremes. And then marsupials and placental mammals both evolved at 120 million years ago and split off. And now the only monotremes left are echidnas and platypuses. And we got the marsupial line and the placental line. The first placenta was called Aomea, which means dawn mother. And it's a little shrew creature we find in China. Thanks, bitch. Now we can't lay eggs.
I don't think we needed to.
Can you imagine? Fucking, have you seen a kiwi egg?
No.
Look at everyone at home. I'm not putting it on the screen. You need to look this up for yourself. Just look up kiwi egg. Look up a picture of a kiwi standing next to one of its own eggs, or a kiwi with an egg. You know what? Fuck it. I will put it on the screen. I'll put it on the screen right here, and I'm going to show it to Ben. I didn't want to have to look it up, but since we're talking about it,
you're gonna have to, yeah.
Yeah. Kiwi egg.
Kiwi eggs. So if you look up kiwi eggs, you'll notice
this is a kiwi skeleton next to a kiwi egg. That's an adult.
That's an adult?
That's an adult. This is what it looks like inside of their body.
Why?
This is a kiwi adult skeleton with the kiwi egg inside of it still. How nuts is that?
Seems like a bad design.
It's horrible. Why would they be this way, you know? What an awful way to exist. Because it could be like that situation for humans. If it was like, you know, they have one of the biggest fucking eggs.
We have the other situation.
What is this picture? It's a comparison of bird eggs. And it's like, here's a chicken, here's a kiwi, here's an ostrich, here's an emu. There's a sea anemone. Why is that there?
For comparison.
Just in case. Because everybody knows about what size the sea anemone is. So you can just think about that.
Yeah. Forrest,
oh, man.
You asshole.
But yeah, they could be like that situation where we could have to lay gigantic fucking eggs the size of a 3-year-old. You know?
That's so weird. I'm glad we don't have to do that.
Me too. For so many. I fucking lay eggs, and I can say it's a good deal.
I don't even lay eggs, and I say it's a good deal.
Human egg cells are fucking tiny, and it's cool.
It's pretty neat. It's also fucked up that little tiny micro thingy. Life in general is fucked up.
It's
insane.
Yeah.
Like your parents did what they did. That awful thing they did.
Just shame on them.
Shame on them.
Shame on them.
And then, like, it's just so insane. Like, just that whole process is insane.
Babying.
Babying is insane.
It's a gross thing to do. Don't do it. Don't do it.
I don't care if you do it, but try to be nice to them.
If you're out there watching this and you're like, I may or may not baby someday, don't.
You definitely don't have to.
Get some help.
They're like, people who want to pressure people into having kids, they can go fuck themselves.
What are
I have kids and I like my kids, but I wouldn't necessarily recommend that you have kids.
The worst
the
worst arguments
especially
for anything.
If you want to do anything,
yeah,
and you don't want it to be super hard, then like don't have kids.
That's what I'm saying.
Because like that free time in your younger years is really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I waited a little bit. I still I didn't have kids too young, but I still had them younger than I should have. And now here I am. I'm trying to do a bunch of extra shit, and I have to work. So
it's a whole problem. Yeah.
I can live off of toast and crackers, but they can't.
The government won't let you do that for them. Fucking the worst arguments for anything. Which is ironic
because that's what the government would do for them.
Seriously.
But anyway,
come from people who try to pressure you into having kids. Fucking the ones I hear this all the fucking time. It's don't you want to have this thing to pass on your blah blah? Don't you want to do blah? And I hate any argument for kids that starts with don't you want? Fuck what I want. We're talking about another human life here. I don't need to fucking start someone's life because I want something. What is that?
I do.
I
do that.
That's
fuck you.
Or they're fucking, well, who's going to take care of you when you're old? And it's I'm not going to bring someone into the world so that they can nurse me.
Yeah, that logic.
That's fucking weird.
I think it's okay to hope if you have kids already. It's I hope my family can help me.
Oh, yeah.
I hope they can help me.
I hope they
will.
Yeah.
Because you should have been, hopefully you're doing a good enough job that people will want to make sure you're not miserable for the last 10 years on the planet. Yeah. If they hate you that bad, then you fucked up.
Right.
Sorry.
Right. Yeah. It's not their fault. Shit.
Yeah, but expecting that. Really what you need to do is you need to try, and I know this is not easy. I'm not saying it's easy, but what you should be trying to do if you have kids, what I'm trying to do is make sure I've got enough set aside by the time I'm getting to that age that they don't have to worry about me.
Right.
They can just take care of themselves and I'll be fine. I don't want them to ever... Because, I'm in the situation where I'm, worried about taking care of all the old people in my life.
Yeah.
I don't want to put anybody else in that situation.
It sucks. It's a horrible situation.
It's rough.
To be in.
Yeah, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about. It's the worst.
Yeah.
Fucking.
You're making decisions that those specific people did not prepare you for.
Right. And you don't know what's right. And you're not going to be okay no matter what.
No matter what.
I was watching, Amber was showing me this shit.
30s.
It was 30s. Amber showed me this shit. It's when you have a governess, and it's this woman, and she's just sitting there quietly. She's I would like to see my child today, and they hold a baby up in front of her. She's oh yes, hello. You've gotten a little bit bigger, I suppose. Right. Maybe I won't hold you today. Was this the one that was sticky yesterday? Yes. Perhaps another time. Good luck. Carry on.
It's good stuff.
Oh my god. That's exactly how I'm going to be if I ever reproduce. Amber's going to be hey, babe, check out our kid. I'm oh yeah.
Check out our kid.
He's still there, isn't he?
Well, I told you what I do to my
Has he got a job yet? He's 6 weeks old. Doctor?
6 weeks.
Call me back when he's a doctor.
It's you know exactly how long it takes to get your fucking education, and you're over here being a dick to this kid. That's not cool.
Fuck you, kid. Good luck.
No, you're probably if you ever do, I don't know if you will, because I just know you really well, but if you ever do have kids, I think you'll probably stumble into being a really good father because you're a piece of shit like that.
Yeah, man. Thanks.
You know what it's like to carry a deep pain for your entire life.
I do.
You know that the therapy's not gonna help.
Yeah.
Not enough.
No, they can't repair.
It can just keep us from reacting inappropriately.
Exactly. It just teaches you how to deal with the pain. It doesn't take the pain away.
So I think that benefits you some.
I went and saw my nieces yesterday.
Just knowing how much it hurts to grow up is helpful.
Yeah. I went and saw a couple of my nieces yesterday, and they're little. They're I don't know how old they are. They're not talking real good yet. They're a couple years old. I don't
know how old they are. They're not talking real good yet. We'll go 2 or 3.
Probably. I'm
just gonna ask Amber.
Yeah, she'll know. I don't know.
She'll know.
I know they're.
Yeah, names. They always know. Yeah. We don't know. We're the ones that don't know. I saw the kid yesterday.
They were riding around on my feet is the whole thing. Like they wanted to spend some time, and so like they both sat on my feet and grabbed my calves, and I just walked around and like carried them on my feet.
That's a fun one.
And they were having a great time with that, and now my hips hurt because I'm an old fucking man.
That's the father's trick.
Oh man,
it's kind of cool though when you have two about that size, because then you really don't need to buy like any exercise equipment. They'll just like strap themselves to you, and you can just work out with kids.
Oh my god, I'm the best uncle ever though. I was one of them, the older one. Fucking
every uncle says that except for like the really bad ones.
Yeah, but I am though. I had this,
and they
kid
just say it like in
hysterics.
a worse way. They're like, I'm the best.
She was running around being crazy, getting into shit. And so I just grabbed her by the arm and just walked her around my body and just like kept passing that arm back and just walking her in a circle around my body. And she was in fucking hysterics over the situation. And for like almost 10 goddamn minutes, I had this kid just pissing herself laughing, just walking in a circle around me. And I the best uncle in the world.
Kids are great. Like
make this happen.
Just make them happy for no reason.
Yeah. And then when they were grabbing onto my leg, I just had one of them and they wouldn't get the fuck off my leg. And so I like lifted my leg up and like kicked them into a couch.
I'll tell you the worst feeling in the world is so hopefully she doesn't hear this. She's not supposed to listen to the show. Sometimes she sneaks in. Bad kids.
Your offspring just binging our shitty podcast.
She's not supposed to. But I've been so like most of her life. Whenever I wanted to show her something, like I still have a childlike sense of wonder with certain things. Like I'll be playing a game or something, and I'm like, "Oh, neat!" And I'll be like, "Hey, come look at this. Come check this out." And she comes over and she looks at it. She's always like, "Wow, that's cool." And like the moments where she's like really equally excited as me are becoming fewer. So like it's getting now where sometimes I'll try to show her something. I'm like, "Look at this, is really cool," and she's like, "Yeah, that's cool." And then she, like, leaves, like, immediately, like, doesn't want to stay to see if I say anything else.
Because she's growing up and you refuse to.
Yeah. And I'm just like, fuck, she's gonna think I'm lame soon. It's coming, like, it's gonna be like, so. That's all I have to say about having kids.
It is what it is.
Yeah, is like, no matter how cool you are, they're gonna think you're lame.
Yeah. Yeah.
Secretly, we're all lame. Kids point that out.
I don't give a fuck. I lean into the lame sometimes. I have another niece who's older, and every time I see her, I'm like, fucking, how are your grades? How are you in school? And she's like, it's good to see you too. I'm like, have you failed any classes, child?
That's important stuff to know.
That's all I fucking ask her every time I see her. I'm just like, how's your schoolwork going? And she's like, hi, Uncle Forrest. I'm like, how is your math? Have you memorized your times tables?
How is it?
It's apparently fine from what she says. You better not be lying.
Good.
You fucking listening to this? You know who you are, you little shit.
You better not. Don't listen to this.
If you're not reading, you better quit listening to this podcast.
Get on the
and go do your homework.
Like once a week and just yell at people and tell them to go do their work. You're not doing things you know you're supposed to be doing.
It'll be like a motivational podcast where we'll just say platitudes. You have to work hard if you want it. You have to stay hungry.
God, I hate that shit.
It's awful.
I'm
going to show you how great I am.
Sometimes you need it.
Right? Oh, it's helpful when you think it applies to you.
Sometimes you're like, okay, I need to like listen to a dude just be like toxically positive right now. Yeah. Sometimes it can be motivating, and different things motivate different people. It's like certain people might get motivated to do something better by somebody like yelling and firing them up. Some people will just. I think my boss and I actually were talking about this the other day. Some people, if you yell at them, you're just gonna shut them down.
Yeah, they zone it.
So it's like that. Like that applies to a lot of different parts of life as well. Like I think
I'm gonna go listen to Wings by Macklemore and do 10 push-ups and feel like I accomplished something today.
No, not Wings. I'm saying you listen. You like Goggins or some crazy guy like that where he just runs and calls himself a bitch over and over again.
What?
We'll talk about it later.
Is that a guy? Is that a real thing?
He is a guy. He's an influencer guy I mean, he's done more than influence, but he's one of those hardcore people.
Oh my god.
He's not really like I like watching his content because
yeah.
I think he can be inspirational and he's funny, but like I don't know if I'd necessarily like say he's like I don't know if I would recommend him if you need inspiration. Like if you're down in the dumps, I would definitely like what's good because motivational speaking is hollow.
Yeah.
So, like, if you're aware that it's hollow, it can be good for the moment.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like listening to, like, the videos off.
Yeah,
It's kind of like listening to, like, like music when you're trying to run or something, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you need that exact thing right then, it's like a ritualistic thing almost.
Right.
Whereas, like, what's the type of content you could use if you need to, like, pull yourself out of that, like, funk? But you're not going to respond to... somebody saying, you gotta get the fuck up, bitch.
Yeah.
You gotta get the fuck out of bed, bitch. You gotta get the fuck up and put your fucking shoes on, bitch. Like,
right.
If that language doesn't work for you, and we'll do the commercial break.
Yeah, we'll put the commercial break, and I gotta go get some eye drops anyway. Wow. Listen to these commercials, bitch.
Shit, he had a thing.
Yeah, I had the LASIK. I'll talk about it in a minute. Commercials.
I guess
go.
Meditation.
Yeah, oh my god.
He's walking on the table.
No, I'll go grab the thing.
Commercial break, commercial break, commercial break, commercial break.
That's all going in there too.
Talking to the pan. There was a girl in the store.
This camera's been crooked as fuck this whole time.
They don't give a shit as long as it's on. There's a girl in the store the other day, and her name was Pagan.
Nice. Awesome.
Those are the names. Those are some of the millennial names coming up.
Oh, yeah. I had the surgery, and now I need eye drops all the time.
This is my son Royley. His name is Royley. Royley fucked up.
Ooh.
He's a really fucked up Hendrix, he's. I'm so sorry to anybody that I may have just offended.
Yeah, so I have to do that like every hour on the hour. So I got the LASIK surgery, and part of it I have to wear this fucking mask when I sleep. Like this birth control goggles, this big fucking clear like mask to make sure that I don't put any pressure on my eyes accidentally while sleeping. I have to wear that for a week. I have to do eye drops 4 times a day that are antibiotic, and one that's a steroid that's like milk. And then I have to use these lubricating drops in individually packaged containers, so just the most plastic trash possible, every single hour, because they severed the nerve in my cornea that tells my eyes to lubricate themselves properly. And so I have to do that all the time until that nerve regrows and reconnects. Just, oh my god, it's obnoxious, but I can see really well, like absurdly well, and it's awesome.
I don't like when you look at me like that.
I can see you better than I've ever seen you. It's horrible. It's like that episode of Dexter's Lab where he could see super well and everyone was just disgusting.
It's bad.
Yeah.
It's bad. I look rough because I'm not doing anything. I'm brushing my teeth. I'm using mouthwash.
That's good.
I'm taking showers. That's it.
Yeah.
I'm on like fucking bare minimum right now.
I need a root canal real bad.
I need to go to the dentist. I'm going to go to the dentist soon and get my teeth cleaned. I'm going to follow Forrest's lead.
Yeah, man. It's
get
awesome.
Good cleaning done. I'm worried I'm going to need some cavities filled.
Yeah, well, I went in because I was like, I'll get a quick cleaning and make sure my teeth are really shiny. And they were like, hey, you have just a mountain of cavities. And so, like, I'm several $1,000s in to get... And I've got them all fixed except for this one back here needs a root canal. And that's going to be, like, the most expensive. And I'm like, it's not going to need any more of a root canal if I wait a little bit and save up for it. You know what I mean? So, I'm just... waiting on that one, and then my teeth will be fixed, and my eyes are fixed, and I've got a fucking skincare routine now, and eventually I'll be all big and strong. Let's keep just fixing one problem after another until it looks like I'm put together.
Here. Am I in the... Hey!
You're in the frame. I'm very in the frame. It's better than it was. It was, like, up against this wall. Like, people were seeing most of it. Now you're in the frame.
So, we covered eggs. Is there anything else that we should cover regarding Easter? Are there any other weird, wonky traditions that we have a appropriate understanding of?
Probably. I don't know any off the top of my head. I thought it was the equinox.
The fun thing about everything is that it all comes from the beginning of humanity.
Yeah, it's all just this thing. I thought it was the equinox. I thought Easter and the equinox were synonymous, and apparently the equinox happened a month ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish I could go back as like a specter. And just watch like humans, like really early humans,
like figuring shit
I know
out.
I'm not the only person that has this fever dream.
Right.
But like, just look at them just walking around, fucking touching rocks, looking at trees, setting different plants on fire.
That's what they do.
But like, there really was like, there was this time when we were just like very, very not like this
in our infancy of
but we were getting there, and it would have been so cool. It would be so cool to watch that.
Yeah,
because I would imagine it looked a lot like different animals, like, you know, different apes and stuff, but it also had to be different because there's obviously something that we developed early on that kept us going faster than everybody else. Definitely the running.
The physical
speed. Definitely the running and throwing spears. Are those the bells?
The church bells are going
He is risen.
He's risen, guys. He done been rose.
He actually did it. But yeah, so like it's and then just like I wonder what it was like, you know, when the first like half monkey, half man guy came out, or maybe she was a lady monkey man, and she came and she tried a mushroom and she tripped balls.
There's actually a thing.
And she was like, "Oh, I think maybe there's gods."
There's actually,
and then this all just got worse and worse and worse and worse.
There's a line of thinking called the stoned ape hypothesis.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. It's all about that. It's fucking crazy, dude.
It is, yeah. I mean, animals do drugs.
Oh yeah.
So.
Oh yeah. All the time. A lot of people like to pretend like they don't. It's fucking stupid. Animals will go out of their way to find fermented fruits and get drunk. Like all sorts of creatures do that. There are lots of animals that get high, usually off of you know, biogenic toxins. Like look up
dolphins,
look up the lemurs that chew on millipedes.
Oh,
they don't eat the millipede; they just bite them to make them secrete toxin that they get in their mouths, and they just get fucking stoned. And they rub their toxin-filled saliva all over their body, and it works as an insecticide, but they also get high as balls. And they just sit there and just stare off into space with giant pupils drooling. And they're like, all the biologists are like, oh, I wonder what they're doing now. They're fucking tripping, bro. They're having a great time is what they're doing. They're fucking loving their lives.
Oh my god, they are the universe experiencing itself.
They haven't fucking, you know,
as a lemur.
They haven't done as much millipede as it takes to get paranoid, and so they're still having a fun time.
That'll always be my favorite way to think about like any kind of like heavy-headed spirituality, though. And it's literally just the universe just experiencing itself for a minute.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
Yeah,
that's cool enough. That's literally cool enough for me.
Yeah, man.
I don't need the other shit.
Just a part of it.
I do like the idea that we all get a planet and have endless celestial sex.
Mormonism. Hell yeah.
No, I don't know. Planet, that sounds like a lot of responsibility.
The whole ass planet.
You gotta fill it up.
With your seed.
Ugh. And I'm gonna be honest. Like, I like my family. I don't know if I'd like it if every family was my family.
You don't want a planet worth of your own kids.
Yeah, that sounds awful.
Yeah.
Now that we've evaluated it, I think Mormon heaven's not right for me.
It sounds like a nightmare. I'll be honest with you. It sounds like a really problematic, racist nightmare.
Yeah, I think I'll just stick with nothing and nowhere.
Yeah,
it sounds dope.
Yeah.
Some people don't like it. I think it's fine. I'm not saying it's not sad to die.
No, I thought the whole planet thing you were talking about. No, what about dying? What?
Dying, right? Like, there not being anything, like, you just, when you're gone, you're gone.
Yeah,
When your brain shuts down, it shuts down, and that's the end of the ride.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not saying it isn't sad.
Yeah, that kind of blows.
I'm just saying that, like, I'm trying to be less sad about it.
Oh, yeah, no, it's inevitable.
Because you're still going to get everything before that.
Right.
So try to make that fun.
Lots of things are sad. Pets are going to die.
Forrest is sad.
I'm sad all the time. Yeah. But I know what it's like to be sad, so I'm usually happy instead.
It's true.
Just like, I don't want to deal with this. It's not like I ignore sadness. It's just you're all right. Yeah.
Speaking of sads and nostalgia, I brought my Nintendo DS. My Nintendo DS. This was given to me by a friend, by the way. So if they watch the show, I still have it.
Nice. If you watch this show, why?
It's the Majora's Mask one.
Nice.
But anyway, that's cool. The reason I bring this up is because not only do I have it, but
Just
it's
bragging.
interesting because they're shutting down those stores. They're shutting down the Wii shop
Yeah.
and the 3DS shop, and it's not like important.
Why are all of our 15-year-old games dying on us?
Well, there are questions around it, like because people paid for things, and if they don't have it downloaded, now they're not going to have access once it's shut down. So there's questions about like, now here's the thing with that: the old caveat swoops in and saves the day, which is you've never owned a game in your life ever. Even when you had a physical disc, you still don't
just
technically
buying a
own it
license
because the
to use
physical
it.
disc is just a license.
Yeah.
So like, they're like, well, licenses are expiring. That's what it is. It just is what it is, and they're technically right.
Still shitty.
But it's shitty.
Yeah.
And I don't think we should do things that way. I think we need to make legislation about art and media preservation, specifically game preservation. But I think all media needs to be preserved. Like it's just good for the historical record.
Yeah.
You don't know what's in a thing until 100 years later.
Yeah.
It could be a piece of paper or something in a game or something that somebody wrote down, and it's like secret launch. You don't fucking know.
It isn't until some fucking nerd examines it way too closely.
It could be a historical
million years.
account of something that we needed to know about. It was hidden in a fucking Radiohead album. In the cover artwork. But like, I'm just saying, like, we got to keep our art preserved as well as possible. All of it, the good, the bad, whatever. So I think games fit in that. Games are stories, they're music, they're experiences. They fit in that. They need to be preserved. Game companies don't give a shit about that. They don't care about preserving it at all. So I think it's cool that this whole thing has resurfaced that argument. But I usually don't get sad when a console dies, right? GameCube went away.
Yeah.
The 64 went away. The Dreamcast went away. That was a bummer, but I wasn't sad. I was like, whatever, they didn't make it. It's old. It goes away. The 360 goes away. The new one comes out. The new one. It's fine. It's just a fucking game system. I actually got a little bit sad when the 3DS store was when they said they were going to shut all that down and the 3DSs are done.
That's how I felt about the 360.
Here's why. And I understand. And here's why. Because it actually is kind of the end of a thing. It's not like, oh, they're not going to make Nintendo games anymore. Yeah, Switch is dope, right? Switch is cool as fuck. It's not this. It's not this thing. It's not this ancient style of technology. It's not like a Game Boy. This is the last thing that we'll get from Nintendo probably, at least for a long time, that was like a Game Boy.
Yeah.
That was still like just a handheld.
Yeah.
It wasn't a tablet with fucking controllers. It wasn't a little computer. It was just a little Nintendo device that does stupid Nintendo shit like Swap Note and fucking Mii's. And I bought 2DSs for my kids when they were little, and we played the message games. And it just spurred all these memories about the original DS with the clamshell. Do you remember that fucking thing?
Yeah.
And it had PictoChat.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember PictoChat. But
Dude, I have a couple of 2DSs, the flat ones. And
yeah.
like just sitting up all
Those
night
are
playing
great.
Mario Kart on that fucking thing. It's
Those
awesome.
are great.
Yeah.
Because when they came out, it was like, dude, for fucking $80 and you can play all the 3DS games. And you just don't have 3D. It's like, who fucking gives
Absolutely.
a shit?
Yeah.
Yeah, those things are awesome. So that's what we got the kids eventually. And
I used to carry around my fucking Game Boy Advance SP.
the Game Boy Advance SP. So like
the Motorola Razr of fucking gaming.
All of those things were a step. And this is like almost everything in life. I'm starting to analyze everything this way. All those devices were a step to the Switch.
Yeah.
And so was the Wii and the Wii U. Those were all part of it too. But that's gone now. Like all of that stuff, the Game Boys, the DSs, all of those things like that, like they won't make another thing like that. It's crazy. Like from now on, the Switch will be the thing. They might make a new different version of a Switch that's smaller.
Are you supposed to be able to carry around a Switch in your day-to-day life? Like, why wouldn't
No,
they
that's why they made the Switch Lite.
There's a different
It's about
Switch.
this big.
Oh,
They
that's
kind of
weird.
suck, though. You are technically able to carry the Switch around in like a backpack or something.
Right, but like you have to get like a whole case and everything for it. Like it's a whole situation. Why wouldn't they make another handheld? Why wouldn't they make another specific?
That's what the Lite's for, though.
But well, that's what I'm saying. Why wouldn't they make a different thing? Because even the light, you have to have a case for, right?
Mm-hmm.
So why wouldn't they make something that was all encompassing again? Why wouldn't they ever do that? Because that seems like a reasonable thing to do.
They may.
The gamers
they
on
won't
the go.
do it for a long time. They've already said they're not gonna make another handheld besides the Switch in there, and the next system will be some sort of continuation on the
Switch
on the home console system. Yeah.
Well, that's dumb.
I don't think they're gonna go. I think they're just gonna keep it combined, at least for the time being.
So you're telling me that in fucking like 15 years they're gonna come out with a fucking handheld game and be like, "Oh, look what we invented!
Look at this brand new handheld. Look at
this
this thing called the Game Boy."
I was gonna say it's a Game Boy Pocket.
And wait till you hear this: 6 AA's.
Oh man,
runs for 4 hours.
That's crazy.
Backlit screen. No, what I'm saying maybe. But what I wouldn't put it past them, because that's what happens. Everything comes back around.
Right.
Right now, everybody's about PC. Wait till some new console comes out. Nuts. No, it is weird how like it'll be like everybody's all for like PC gaming, and then when the PS6 comes out, they'll be about the PS6 for a couple months.
Yeah, I've never owned a PlayStation.
That's sad. They're good systems.
I just don't want to.
I know. It's because they're fans, isn't it?
That doesn't help. That doesn't help. But no, it's just the
Xbox Bros make me not want to play Xbox.
I am any kind of bros, dude. I don't want to play PlayStation, and I never have, and I never will, for the reason that the fucking PlayStation bros hate the most. I just don't want to learn what the buttons mean.
The buttons, I know.
I want A, B, and X, Y. I don't want to learn what squares and I'm gonna forget. And
you can do it.
And I very easily could. I would do it the exact same way that I learned A, B, X, Y.
Yeah.
As I'm sitting there, because the Switch and the Xbox are backwards. Mm-hmm. And I just deal with it. And I know exactly how they work and what they are. And it's not hard at all. And I could do that with the PlayStation. I just don't want to.
I don't have
the
time.
Games aren't that good for me to switch over. I just don't
well,
want to do it.
they're okay. So there's like careful. You're gonna piss all those fuckers off. There's some really great games on the PlayStation.
Yeah.
But there's not enough, is what we're saying, for us.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
To warrant a whole thing.
Yeah, like God of War. I really want to play God of War and The Last of Us, and that's like 2 games.
Isn't The Last of Us on
nope.
on Xbox as well?
Nope.
What's
that's
the one
Naughty
that is?
Dog, man. That's a PlayStation exclusive.
Oh. There's one of them that was Life is Strange, maybe? I don't know.
Life is Strange is now, I believe, a Microsoft exclusive. But they're all buying companies right now a lot.
Yeah.
The game industry is consolidating, which is good and bad. You get a lot. There's pros and cons to that.
Did you ever play Dragon Age Inquisition?
I played it. I never beat it.
It's a phenomenal game.
I liked Dragon Age, but like it's just old timey Mass Effect, and at the time I was playing Mass Effect because the sci-fi world strikes me more. I
fucking love Dragon Age, and like Dragon Age Inquisition caused me to buy an Xbox One because
I remember you telling me.
Yeah,
that.
It's on 360, and it is so painfully ugly on the 360. I bought an Xbox One so I could play fucking Dragon Age. And I love it. I've enjoyed the Xbox One thoroughly. All the new games coming out, I'm loving playing them. You know, they're not making shit for 360 anymore. So, like, I needed one anyway. But that was what gave me the impetus. If I could find a game that was as good as Dragon Age on the PlayStation, I might consider it.
I mean, there's games that are as good. It's just that you don't like God of War is a really amazing game, but if you don't have any kind of experience with it prior, then you're not going to be drawn. You're not going to be drawn to it that way. Here's the thing. You 100%.
It's like Assassin's Creed.
100%. If you went and played the newest God of War games on the PlayStation 5, you would probably think they were cool because they nail a lot of the mythology.
Oh, cool.
That's what those games are good at.
Neat.
Is interweaving the ancient mythological stories into the game story. They're really good at that, and the storytelling is phenomenal.
Cool.
So like you would like that, but because you've never played a God of War game, there's nothing making you even give a shit that you might like it. And that's the thing. People don't understand that. I'm the same way. It's like The Last of Us. I really want to play it, but I watched somebody play the whole first game and most of the second, and I feel like I'm done. I've seen it.
I played...
I've seen it. That game about the Wendigo.
The Wendigo.
The Wendigo. I watched that whole game be played. I've never played it.
I played like the first probably 45 minutes or so of Assassin's Creed, the Revolutionary War one.
Oh yeah, 3 I think, right?
I don't know.
It's where you're like he's like a Native American.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 3 I believe.
Yeah, I played like the first few minutes of that, and it was interesting.
I've
but
never played that one.
I just didn't care. I didn't know what the story was. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I didn't understand the side things. And so I was like, okay, well, I guess I better go play the first one. And so I asked the guy in the game store, and I was like, dude, what do I do? And he's like, oh no, they're horrible, and you get better. The games get better as you go along. And I'm like, why would I go back and play the first one then? I don't want. And so I fucking just sold it back to him. I was like, I don't fucking want this anymore. I don't care. I don't want to play it. And I know there's a million people. The commercials look really cool.
There is almost no reason in my experience to play them in chronological order.
Isn't there?
There's a storyline with like, like genetic, like that like your DNA had like the whole what's the theory behind like DNA retaining memories?
Yeah, like a genetic memory. Yeah, I get the basic premise.
So that whole thing is going on in the background, which is it's a really cool story, but they split those stories up, and then they also, I think, development teams changed too much. I don't know what happened, but over the series of the games, they lost this second story and like fucked it all up, and then they threw it away, and then they tried to bring it back, and it's like they probably would have been better off just not having that at all, and just being set in those individual historic
that would be
eras.
That would be rad.
Like if they hadn't had this overarching plot they were trying to put together. Like
of like this kid in the memory machine that they build in a cave somewhere.
Yeah,
and
like then it would have been cool if they were just like, oh, the next Assassin's Creed is going to be set in whatever.
Yeah,
like if that was it,
that is exactly what I was thinking when I was playing it, because it was so weird. It was like they were in this cave.
They didn't,
and there was like this alien technology.
So they didn't tell anybody about that shit. So when the first game came out, we didn't really know anything. Like I rented it, I played the first game on 360, and I'm like, all right, cool. I'm in the Middle East. I'm a fucking assassin guy. I'm going. You go, and then the shit starts glitching out, and then they pull you out of the machine the first time, and you're like in first person, and you're like, what the fuck is this game?
Yeah.
And that was most people's first experience with that part of the story. It was just like inexplicably the world starts getting glitchy, and you get pulled out of a machine, and you're like, I thought I was in fucking history.
Yeah.
Like, so that was the first. So I immediately got turned off by that. And then the first game kind of killed it for me. Yeah. I like some of the other ones. The second game was really fun. It's in Venice. Right set in Venice, and like you fucking hang out with fucking Da Vinci.
Oh, cool.
He builds you a flying machine. And
it's awesome.
And like he helps you with like the revolution or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know, but like there's cool stuff like that. But I mean, yeah. And companies, they just ruin shit. They take good stuff and they ruin it.
What sucks is that like. I know that the story is about the assassins versus the Templars, and the Templars are like trying to take over the world.
Yeah,
and
that sucks
be the
too.
shadow government. And like the real world, fuck Templars. And like there are Templars today that are real people who really like actually believe in what the real Templars were all about. And you see people actually out there with real Templar. Fuck actual Templars. And I talk about that and be like, yeah, man, Assassin's Creed. I'm like, I don't know what I don't play the game. It's a real problem. And it's like if I said fuck Nazis and they're like, I like Call of Duty too. No, it's like it's a real problem. Oh man, I would love to play the games. It sounds like a lot of fun. I just can't be fucked.
No, they're I can't be fucked. We'll see about that. No, I understand what you're saying. There's tons of shit I don't get into. I still barely play Dark Souls, and I like it.
Yeah,
but it's so hard and grindy that it's like I don't have time. I'd rather play something that's more immediately rewarding in my 2 hours of game time a day or a week I have, a week, really.
I enjoyed playing Dark Souls 1. I got up to the Chaos Witch with the spider body, couldn't get past it, put it down for a week, forgot about it, haven't played it since. And I haven't played any of the other ones either. And like I know Elden Ring looks really interesting. It looks
beautiful.
But it's just another Dark Souls game, and I don't want to play it right now. I'm busy. You know what I mean? I don't have time to invest. Dying Light. Which one is that? That's that zombie game. The one I talked to you about it a little while ago.
I love that game.
It's a really fun game. I don't have time. I play it for like an hour a month.
Oh no, I just bought the like DLC for Destiny 2. The like new story campaign, and I've done 2 missions.
I just beat.
I bought it like 2 weeks ago, and I've done like 2 missions on it, and I just And I'm like, yeah.
I beat Dying Light 1, but I have a bunch of DLC to get through now. So I gotta get back into that eventually.
You gotta go out in the woods. Tell me what it's like when you do that, because I haven't beat it yet. Just tell me what it's like when you start the big DLC.
I haven't started it.
Where you go out in the, what is it called? Like the frontier or some shit? I don't know.
I have no idea. I bought the
outside.
I bought
what
the unlimited ultimate game.
Yeah. You got the bundle.
The bundle. The one. So
that's what I got on the Switch.
Yeah. So like I haven't started the deal. I have no idea what the DLC is.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. I've never played other than the sword one. The arcade machine one.
Oh yeah, Hellraid. Yeah. That's awesome.
No, I did the other one too. There's one you start one where like you just start. It's the Bozak or something like that.
Bozak.
Yeah.
Ballsack.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The Ballsack Mental Hospital.
Yeah, never did it. Haven't been there.
There's one that's called Bozak or Wozak or something. I'm sorry. I might. You like wake up in like a hospital room though or something, or like a stadium. It's a stadium.
You the opposite of what you were saying.
You wake up in a stadium.
Part of this thing.
Well, you wake up in a stadium, but for some reason it loaded my character in the Scrubs outfit.
Oh, okay.
So it's fucked my memory up. You see, this is what's scary about being me.
Your brain doesn't work.
Yeah. It's aphasia.
Aphasia.
I have an aphasia of some kind.
Oh.
But yeah, so game preservation.
Yeah.
Art preservation, but specifically for me, game preservation. I didn't ever think in my life that I would be championing game preservation. Didn't know that was going to be a thing. But I actually care about it a little bit.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to say is, I do not condone that you go right now and pirate any old games that you want to have later in life. I don't condone that. And I don't think you should put them on some sort of hard copy, and also maybe a hard copy of an emulator software. I don't think you should do that so that you have a way to access these 50 years from now when these game companies are all gone because we dropped the bombs. I don't think you should illegally preserve your media and hide it in a safe.
What I do condone is if anybody has a copy of Chameleon Twist 2 for the N64... Send it to P.O. Box 1810 in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, zip code 74013. Please.
I'm going to get him on Chameleon Twist like in 5 minutes.
I can't find a copy of Chameleon Twist 2. I still have Chameleon Twist 1. I can't find Chameleon Twist 2 anywhere except for I could find it online for like $100 fucking dollars. I don't want to spend $100 on a fucking video game. But if anybody has a copy and you want to get rid of it, send it to me because it's a great game. Play it.
Why would they send it to you now that
thing
they
in like
know
an hour and a half?
It's worth $100?
Because they love me so much. They love this show and they want to see us be happy.
Well, just so you know, if you send him the thing, I will lose faith in you as an audience, and if you don't send him the thing, I will gain faith in you as an audience. And I don't really know if you guys are keeping track of that sort of thing, and...
So you have to decide what's best.
Yeah.
Do you want Ben's confidence in you as a person, or do you want to lose $100?
As an audience.
As an audience. Everybody's affected by this.
It's also about how it really is like... So, I want you to see us as two, like, competing deities, right? That's how you need to view this situation. And it's just... That's analogous. We're not really gods. Calm down. But...
We are risen.
True, we did rise.
Do it all the time.
That's how you need to view the scenario, is all I'm saying. So just like, do you want my favor or his favor? Are you familiar with Smite?
Yeah, Smite's a great game, yeah.
Favor.
It's all about favor, y'all.
I love Smite.
It's all about favor.
I would just spend hours reading about all the different gods in Smite whenever they would add new gods and shit. I'm like, yeah! And I love when it's some weird-ass obscure god because they're running out of mythology to fucking rip from, and I'm like, yeah.
I played Smite for a minute. I never really
I always like to go read their description of the god and then go like look it up and do more research on that particular like deity, and it'd be so because usually they're pretty close, like
right, but they can't be spot on. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, but then you go read the whole story and like the ancient mythology, and it's really cool. It's really fun.
Do you ever play Black and White?
And then you got like a hot version of like an Neef, whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
All of them have, all of the female gods just have giant breasts. So that's a high res problem. I think they're working on.
This was the Egyptian god of having huge honkers.
I'm not complaining because I like women's bodies, but like it's gotta stop. Like we gotta stop doing this. Like you gotta have a balance. Like most women agree that like it's fine to have like scantily clad women in video games, but you also need to be able to not be a scantily clad woman with huge because not every woman looks like that. Some women do, and they want their character to look like that, but not every woman looks like. It's like how I don't really like my character to be like this jack dude. You know, I like for my characters in video games to look more kind of like a normal, average-looking guy that's maybe got some muscle. That's like, you know, sometimes I like to play as a woman because they make women smaller, and their hitbox is smaller.
Have you heard of the
women can dodge bullets? Fun fact.
Have you heard of the Bechtel test?
I've heard of it, but go ahead and refresh me.
I think it's Bechtel. Yeah, Bechtel.
It's Bechtel.
It's the test is just. The question is, are there two or at least two women having a conversation about anything but men?
But men.
And so you can't find it.
Almost nothing. There's got to be something, dude. There has to be something that passes that test.
Right. There's either not two women or they're only talking about dick. And that's all it is. That's every fucking thing ever. Yeah, no, I would love to see actual human women in video games. I would love to see men that just act like men. I would love to see non-binary and trans folk in video games. Did you hear?
They do it all the time. Not all the time. No, let me rephrase that because my sentence sounds wrong. What I mean to say is every time they do that, because I was trying to say is they try all the time.
Right.
They try to do it all the time. And every time they do that, people fucking lose their minds because they're all a bunch of whiny crybabies who have never tried anything fun.
Did you ever watch The Umbrella Academy?
No, I haven't yet, but it's a good. I heard it's a good
I've watched a little bit.
Seems pretty interesting.
Yeah, I've watched a little bit of it, so I know what it is. I'm not super into it, but it's a show. But the one of the lead actors, Elliot Page.
Oh, here
trans.
we go.
Yeah, and so
don't act like we all didn't grow up.
Right.
With Elliot Page, like we know.
Yeah. Like, so he was what was Ellen? I believe was his old name.
Before, yeah.
And
here's the thing, too. When Elliot said that, when they came out and just was like, "Hey, this is how I feel," I was like, "It makes sense." Like you've already been kind of like expressing some of those things.
It seems, that was what they were wanting to do because that's good for them. Yeah, you finally get to be yourself. But they were talking about how to work about the show because he's still on the show and his character is a woman. So what are you going to do here? You're going to make this person pretend to be a woman, and that would be traumatizing, and potentially that would be a problem. And so what they did is they made the character trans, and so now the character is a trans person who is becoming, I think, the name Victor.
Yeah, it sounds
and so now he gets to play.
They worked it out.
Yeah,
it sounds like they all got together. And
that's
a
great solution. Is that the actor is trans, so make the character trans. Have a trans person play a trans person. What a great idea! And it works for the situation that they're in.
It also is weird because people don't understand how TV shows. What the fuck? People don't understand. Nah, we have plenty of time.
Well, we've been talking for an hour.
Do we need to stop?
Hey, we should probably wrap up. Yeah.
I'm just saying, people have this weird reaction. Like they think like TV shows are written as they're being filmed too.
Yeah.
So a lot of times like you might get a script change like the day of shooting.
Right.
For certain scenes. So like they're like, well, that character, like one argument is the reason I bring this up is one argument I've seen is like, well, that character wasn't written that way. Blah 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 blah. It's like, well, it's a television show. They evolve more fluidly than like a movie.
Right.
Which is good and bad, but like this is one of the positive examples of that.
It's like the end.
They had a real life situation change. Mm-hmm. This person had a life change.
Yeah.
And is shifting into a new lifestyle. What lifestyle? Like they're becoming a different. Yeah, it's like I struggle for words. They understand.
Yeah.
They I'm aphasic. So they're going through, and so they handled the situation, and they used this structure of being in like being able to fluidly write the script and change things,
right, to
like work it out,
right,
and it just seems cool. I don't know, it's rough. I think Elliot's life is gonna be hard, but I think at least they came out in a time when they're doing this in a time when it's a little bit more acceptable.
Yeah, it's people are a little
20
bit more
years
chill.
ago it would have completely ruined their career.
Yup. Fucking there's a lot of people that are like, I'll never watch the Umbrella Academy again. Oh, L show, L directors, blah. And it's like, fuck all of you, you fucking snowflake pieces of shit, just because somebody did a thing you don't like.
It is just a TV show. Like, imagine if I was
a fucking TV show.
if I was over here sobbing about the Halo show right now.
Seriously.
Like, I've seen stuff. I've seen some things about it that I think, like, I think I'll probably watch it because it looks like it might be kind of fun, you know? But, like, it sucks. It's not what I wanted. It'll never be what I wanted.
I don't want it to exist. But it looks cool.
Some people like it, and I'm glad people are having fun.
Yeah.
I'm glad there seems to be a genuine audience that's enjoying the show.
Just treat it like the fucking a comic book thing.
That's
how
what
many
I'm doing,
different
but that's what I'm
Spider-Man
saying.
iterations are. That the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man is not the same different Spider-Man as the other one, you can enjoy the different shows.
Bothers me to some extent because I'm like, I wish they had done this or that. I wish was this way. But then when I see people like screaming in the comments about how this isn't what Halo is, and then they'll say some dumb shit. You idiots will say some dumb shit. Like, I don't like that they're portraying the UNSC as bad guys. Those are the good guys. This isn't the Halo I know. And I'm like, you don't know Halo, you
weren't fucking
asshole.
paying attention the whole time then.
You don't fucking get it, bro. The UNSC is not good guys. The whole point is that soldiers can be good guys, potentially.
Yeah.
But the military that runs them is not good guys. They're not good guys.
It ain't good guys.
They're not good guys. It's the same for the fucking Covenant, bro. Like, the elites and the grunts and all those guys, they're just being bossed around by an authority figure, and they're all just soldiers.
There were so many fucking, like, subtexts and subplots and
It
meanings.
makes me so angry because Halo literally is about soldiers dying in war and sacrificing in war and how that sucks.
Yeah, and what that does to them and shit, yeah.
Yeah, like, it's also about hope, and it's about, like, being a fun game.
It's about religion.
It's about religion, but not as much as people think it is.
Right. It's a major part of the plot, but that wasn't the point of the critique.
The biggest thing was it actually was originally supposed to be like about, I think, humanity's own downfall and how we because we were supposed to be the forerunners and shit. Yeah. They changed that now, but we were originally supposed to be the forerunners, and it's like we built all these things.
Yeah, I don't like how much they've changed.
But we had to destroy it because we fucked up too bad.
Right. Well, it's like the whole fucking
and now we're at risk of doing it again.
Even, like, the story of Master Chief, you could say was an allegory for Christianity as well. The whole self-sacrifice, the fact that his name starts with a J. Yeah. They do that all the time. If somebody's name's Shepard, or if their initials are JC, and the J117, I think, is like a Bible verse or something like that.
Well, sevens in Halo are they show up a lot.
Yeah, because that's a whole thing.
Holy number.
Yeah, so there's a lot of allegory that's pro and anti-religion, pro and anti-government, pro and anti-military.
That's because it's made by a lot of people.
It's a lot of interesting shit in there, and then Microsoft came and pissed all over it. We're going to wrap up, because we can go on this for a long time. Thanks so much for watching. This was the show. You watched it, and
I had fun.
Now you know what the show is all about. If this is your first time watching, we understand if it's your last. Have an awesome rest of your day. Happy Oyster.
Subscribe, though.
Yeah, definitely subscribe. Subscribe and never watch
subscribe,
again.
Yeah. I'm going to say a different thing. Subscribe and then turn the notifications off.
Yeah. And then leave it alone. Yeah, we'll leave you alone. You leave us alone. It's fine. Yeah, fuck off. Subscribe and fuck off. We'll see you guys next week. Talk to you later. Bye.
He is risen.
He done rose.
He done rose.
Have a
good one.
And he rose it up.
And if you don't celebrate Easter, have a great day.
Raise the roof.
Sounds like you're already having one, but have a great day.
Bye.